Alright guys, I am sweating, so be it. I wanted to give you a bit of an update, and I was going to make a whole separate video, but you guys have gotten used to long videos from me. As I was literally just saying, I was racing the Mackinac race with my dad. No one got hurt. We finished the race. Didn't do very well. Last year we took a second in class and like a sixth overall or something. This year we, we did not do well. We did terrible. But we finished the race. Other boats did not. I don't think anybody actually got truly hurt. A boat got dismasted. We had some pretty bad weather to deal with for about 20 hours of nasty weather. Lake Huron was displeased with us. We did do our toast, where everyone on the boat has a shot of Bacardi spiced rum, and then we give a little bit to the boat, and we give a little bit to the lake. That did not, it didn't work. So, I had that going on. My better half picked me up, and we went to the upper together with the dogs, and we had a really good time. So I didn't make any videos doing that, because honestly I was enjoying not doing a whole lot of extra rigmarole. I was just enjoying relaxing. Leading up to that, I had to do a bunch of chores before we left. I had several reports to get done for work, several new cases to look through, wrote some questions. I had a lot going on. I had to do lawn for our new house, all the lawn for our current house that we live in, but we got a new house. So I had to do all the yard work so that I could leave for two different pieces of property, and neither one of them, one is like 1.5 acres, and the other one is 2.5 acres of mostly grass, bushes, and weed whacking. Take care of the ducks. I had a lot going on. So I haven't made a video in a little while. What is going to be coming your way is I have to fix we have a tile system in our field, and we have a drainage, not issue, but a lot of water comes in out of a creek that runs only when we get a lot of rain. When it does run, it overflows the embankment that's currently there, and it pisses over top of the field instead of through the drainage tiles. That needs to be changed. I have cement, both left over from pouring this ground here, kind of the junk that they cleaned out the trucks with, which is actually incredibly hard. This stuff they use, this cement, is unbelievably hard, and it sat outside in freezing conditions. So I'm not sure I believe all this, cement will freeze, it'll do this, it'll... Dude, that cement that hardened coming out of those trucks, took the Mini to break it. And I'm talking, I had to lift it and drop it. And I had to do it several times and smoke it with teeth, and like, stuff's strong. Stuff's really strong. So we have that we got to do. As soon as the shop is ready to get powered up, I have a jet boat that I built a motor for. So this winter time we're for sure going to be putting a 454 into a jet boat. It is unfortunately a fiberglass jet boat, so it's made to go fast. It's not made to skip over rocks. Unfortunately, maybe someday I'll build an aluminum jet boat with a UHMW deal on the bottom, hull protection, so that we can go do some upriver stuff. Unfortunately, this is going to be a fiberglass boat, so we don't want to hit anything. That job's got to get done. I mentioned that 5.3 over there at the beginning of the video. That 5.3 needs to get rebuilt, put back together, and see if we can get it running, whether we put it into the plow truck or whether we put it into my Camaro. I'm debating on whether I make the Camaro like a long travel car. And when I say long travel, I mean long travel. I'm talking shocks sticking out through the fenders. That's going to happen. Whether it's either going to be that, or it's going to be a really fast car with a tube chassis and whatever. And I think the reality is I care way more about off-roading than I do about going fast. So it's going to be fast, but I think what we're going to do is a long travel Camaro, because I think that'll be really sweet. And it's not, I mean, long travel muscle cars have been done and raced in Baja, which is really cool. Go look up those old like 70s cars racing the Baja 1000 with BF Goodrich all-terrains and the old BF Goodrich Baja Claws, or whatever the heck they were called. Go look up those old muscle cars racing. It's really cool. But I'm thinking we put a 480E behind that 5.3 with a pretty nasty tune and potentially a cam, because it's going to get cam lifters and trunnion upgrade because it's a 350,000 mile motor. The other thing is the dump truck. I have driven the dump truck around. It needs a new brake master cylinder and to get the brakes bled. It really does need new tires. I've never put tires on a split rim setup before. I'm going to learn. So we're going to do tires in here. We're going to get that thing running. It doesn't run perfect. I think it's got an ignition. It's weird. It breaks up when you get on the throttle hard, which you could say is rich. You could also say it's imprecise ignition timing. Or it could be ignition timing itself, or it could be simply poor ignition or spark heat. Either the plugs could be getting blown out, or just could be a weak spark. So we're going to go through and fix it. It does have an HEI distributor, so in theory it's got a pretty good distributor, but it may need a new one. We're going to check that thing over. We're going to pull the dump truck in here as soon as it's realistic, and we're going to get that sucker going, working, functioning properly. I have an 87 plow truck. I've been accumulating these projects for a while because I knew that I was trying to build the YouTube channel into something useful and interesting and pursue the passions that I have and share them with you guys. I have an 87 square body plow truck that I drove home, and there's a video on it. I haven't done too much with it besides sand the paint and put some primer on it because I wanted to protect the body. It's not in terrible condition, and it's Michigan, it's rusty, but it's not terrible. So, and this is already getting pretty long. Maybe I should make this a separate video. So maybe what we'll do is like a get to know me update video, because there's a lot of new subscribers. Like we're up to 332, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. I can't put into words how much I appreciate it. I enjoy doing this. I love teaching people. I love sharing my experiences, and I have a passion for lifelong learning. I love learning, so I just like trying new things and doing new things. We need to get I have an 0260 Chevy that I tuned, and I built a motor for it because I wanted to go faster. Immature me took apart a perfectly good truck and built a motor, and now gas is very expensive. So I think what we're going to do, I bought another 6.0, just a stock LQ4. I think we're going to throw that LQ4 pack in, put bigger injectors on, and a bigger fuel pump so that we can run them. My phone keeps like hiking down and getting a weird view. Sorry. I'm going to get the 6.0 running. We're going to do some tuning on the channel because it's another thing that I enjoy doing. We're going to have to do some tuning with the 5.3 as well to do the swap and to put a 4LED behind it, which isn't that big a deal. But, so that's some of what we're doing. I have a power glide sitting on the floor from a 64 Chevelle that we need to find somewhere to put it in. Now, there's a potential that might be a better option to put into like a long travel Camaro with that 5.3. Might be a better option because you really, basically it's going to be on or off. If we do that, maybe we'll put this 5.3 into the square body because I'm not sure I want to throw a bunch of nitrous or a bunch of boost in a lifted Camaro long travel craziness thing. Not sure I want to do that with, what am I trying to get on? With a motor that's going to be compromised. 2 rods broke, 2 pistons are shattered. My buddy broke it. We put it in his truck, and he ran it for about 50,000 miles, beating the snot out of it. It blew up racing a Mustang. I think it was like a 4.6, like a early S197. I think that's what it was. I think it was like an 06, 07. But it may have been an SN95 or a New Edge. Actually, I don't know. But it was a 4.6 ton. I think it was a 4.6 2-valve that he was racing, and I guess he was right up with him, and then he chucked rods out the bottom. So I'd like to resurrect that motor because there was a lot of history of that motor. My buddy ran it in the truck it came out of, which was a 99 straight axle Chevy. It was a regular cab short bed, so it was a little short truck, and it had 1-ton axles under it, and we blew up the 60 in a couple weeks of beating the tar out of it. And then he swapped in an NB4500, and that worked great until the frame broke in about 8 places. And then we took that motor out and put the NB on the floor, and the 5.3 eventually went up into his 6.0, his 2500 HG. So I got to get back to doing those fun things. In the meantime, we're going to go do some trail riding too. We need to do a little bit of boating, and I think we're going to do a powerboat trip, and I think I'm going to document going into the harbors, where we like to go, and shed some secrets on this, a really cool place. So stay tuned to that, a really cool place to overnight or multi-night on a powerboat or a sailboat, Powerboat's better because you can pull in to shallower water. Sailboat, there's another inlet that you can use with sailboat, so if you got more keel or you draw more water, there's another spot for you to go. So we're going to do that too. We got to get the biodiesel quad back ripping, get a battery wired up in it, because it is a bear to pull start. That Chinese diesel has always run perfectly, but it has never started that great. So we're going to get the biodiesel quad running. I have a winch hanging on it because I started to install a winch, and we got to get some power to do some welding. We're going to put on a rack that came off of an old 90s Honda four-wheeler, and we're going to put that rack on the bike or on my biodiesel quad, so it'll have a front rack, and it'll have a like 1,500-pound or something winch, which will be really fun. And that means this wintertime we're going to have the plow on the biodiesel quad plowing, so that'll be fun. So we'll have the plow truck, which will be nice for doing the farm here. We're going to have my buddy drew his bear tag, so we'll probably do a little bit, and maybe I'll do a little better job documenting what's going on. Last year I was hunting alone. By that I mean I camped alone, so I did everything. I'm going to go up with him this time. He pulled his bear tag. I only put him for points this year, and I'm going to help him so that he doesn't have to worry about doing all the camping and house cleaning, making sandwiches, whatever, so he can just focus on hunting, because it makes it a whole lot easier when you're not having to deal with that. Doing it alone is tough. So I got my bear doing it the hard way, and he's going to do it also a hard way, but it'll be better with both of us up there and whatever. So that'll be fun, and I'll try and do a little better job documenting it. Last year, I couldn't hold dude, I had a hard enough time making that shot as it was. Holding a camera would have been, dude, I snaked about 85-yard shot, maybe 80-yard shot, down a grade to a river bottom in between trees and sticks and trunks and whatever. I maybe had 18 inches on total width to snake that bullet down all the way to the bear. It's a really tough shot. Was not conducive to self-filming. I'm not a good enough, I'm a pretty dang good shot. I can't hold a camera and shoot like that. So if you can, hey, you're something. It's nice, a lot of your, don't misconstrue me as a professional hunter, not. All your professional hunters have a camera guy. So they got someone up there in the tree or doing whatever they're doing, and they're handling the filming, and then they can focus on hunting. It's very difficult to self-film. So you professional hunters who do self-film, which is rare, that's amazing. I mean, to be successful and film, it's next level. Hunting is difficult enough as it is. So we have I think we have a bright future for the channel. I do really, a passion of mine is chainsaws. I really like chainsaws. I like cutting. I like falling. I've gotten to be a fairly capable faller. And chainsaws are a really tough space to be in. As you're seeing right now, there's a lot of negativity going on in the chainsaw space on YouTube. Don't want to get myself involved in that because I'm not a professional faller. I don't even claim to be I'm not in any way a chainsaw builder. I don't do that. So it's a tough space to be. I enjoy falling trees. I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy all of it. So I've got a lot of trees to fall yet for the season. I got to get food plots in at the hunting property and at the farm. So that's upcoming too. We're going to be doing some rototilling and some planting. This year I didn't do no-till simply because my property 20, 30 years ago, it was like 35 years ago now. Actually, it was more than that. My God, it was the beginning of the 90s. It was about 91 when they planted it. Wait a minute. Oh, so it's not over 30. Almost 30 years. No, that is basically 30, whatever. It was a field. And there's still a lot of it where there isn't trees that are still like chisel plowed. So in the places that I have the food plots, there's a lot of undulation. And it's making the seeds get washed down into the undulation when it rains, which is causing the food plot to not work out too well. So, and as well as whatever seeds remain on the top get incinerated because they get drier faster. And then also the seeds that fall into the down portion when it rains get way too wet and they don't take either. So we've got to level everything. That's where the tiller is going to come in. I'm just going to level everything with the tiller, start fresh, and then we'll probably be doing no-till from then on. With maybe some tilling here and there, but it's got to be tilled. It's got to be tilled, made flat. I mean, you could do almost the same with a box blade, but it's just going to be easier with the rototiller. The rototiller behind the tractor is brainless. You run it over and does the job. So we're going to be doing that. We got to plant here. First, we're going to plant here. So you're going to see actually real soon the B2630 running the 48-inch rototiller. So that'll be cool. I haven't run a rototiller with that tractor. In fact, I've never had a rear implement on that tractor. It's always been a mid-mounted mower. So that'll be cool. So we're going to be doing that. I will be upgrading, modifying, changing the B2630 into having a skid steer quick attach on the loader and having a third function valve. That is, I'm committed to doing that over the wintertime. We're going to do it. It does have the Power Beyond port taken up by the backhoe attachment. So we're going to figure out how to tee in. I don't know how we're going to do that quite yet, but we're going to figure out how to do it because that tractor, boy, skid steer quick connect and third function valve totally changes the tractor. To use a fork setup on a tractor is, forks on tractor amazing. Couple that with what you can do with a grapple, it's way to go. So, lots of potential content. I got to make some time to do it. I have several things to do with the Mini, as in fixing drainage-relating issues, and those are going to have to happen pretty soon. We're going to get to doing some mechanicking in here. I got to do the brakes of my truck, so it's another thing. My truck needs a new set of brakes. About 63,000 miles. They're not terrible. There's nothing really wrong with them. They're a little glazed. I mean, when I say there's nothing really wrong with them, still function. We're not down to the wear bars or the scratchers or anything. What they are is glazed. They've gotten hot, and we need to fix a plug on one of my trailers. We got an electrical weirdness on the plug. None of my other trailers do it, so it must be the plug on the trailer. So we gotta tend to that too. We gotta cut some windows in the camping trailer, and we gotta get that set up. My hope is to be able to use the wood stove that is for my hot tent in the trailer. So I'm hoping to cut a hole in the roof and make a cap for it, potentially. Well, we're going to see how we can do this. I want to see if I can make it kind of creative. The other thing we might do is send it out the wall or something. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. But we need to put 2 windows in it so we get a little bit of light in. You know, just because it feels weird when you're in a trailer in the dark. We got to do that. I would like to put a solar setup on it. We'll see when we get around to that. I would like to put a 270-degree awning, or at minimum an awning on it. So we got to get that trailer set up. But in the meantime, we also need to have some fun with it. So hopefully my dad and I are going to go up and do a go camping / side-by-siding or maybe four-wheeling and bring a canoe up north to the upper. So I'm hoping to do that with that trailer, and maybe we'll make some videos of having some fun doing some trail riding. So there's lots to come. So yeah, this is going to be its own video. Sorry, 17 minutes. So a little bit of an update. Thank you guys for being viewers. Thanks for being subscribers. Thank you for watching. And you have a little bit of an update, I suppose. I've just been trying to crank off chores. I mean, most of the videos have been chore related because it's about all I do these days is work and do chores, and maybe occasionally get to relax some. So I'm going to get back to doing chores. Got to clean out the duck coop today, so that's going to be fun. So we'll get that all taken care of. We'll get that in the compost pile, and we'll be good to go. So I made a couple of videos. I owe you guys more. We'll get to it, I promise, but at least we got 2 made. So you guys take care of yourself. If you're watching this, go check out the update on the barn or the shop situation. Yeah, you guys have a great day. Take care. Thank you all for being subscribers.